We touched on this at the end of last hour. Deion Sanders and Colorado University trying to shut out a Denver Post columnist over negativity. Now, the columnist from the Denver Post is allowed to go to the press conferences. I guess he's not allowed to ask questions when he goes there. Is that what we understand is happening here?
His credential has not been pulled. He's allowed to go to all team activities and press conferences. He's not allowed to ask questions. Other Denver Post reporters can ask questions.
Now, his name is Sean Keeler. He's the columnist. And one of his columns in recent weeks was Deion Sanders is a false prophet. CU Buffs, Colorado football playoffs, ? All have what Coach Prime is smoking. So Sanders had a little give and take, I guess, in the press conference August 9th, where he sparred with the columnist. And then the columnist said, let's meet in private to discuss the matter. Sanders agreed and then said that he wouldn't allow him to ask any questions at the news conference. Keeler's column the next day began with the headline, Deion Sanders, 4-8 coach, gives a 3-9 news conference. Oh. Coach Prime showed CU Buffs fans a 4-letter side they hadn't seen before. Fear. Now, I think what happens is the attention that Colorado has received doesn't match the end result. Deion has brought a lot of attention there, and they went from 1 win to 4 wins. All right, that any program's going to take a jump like that. Now, I don't know if this Denver Post columnist thinks Deion's getting too much attention. Now, would I have given him Sportsman of the Year? No, that was embarrassing. But it's not his call. He didn't say, I need College Game Day out here. He didn't have Fox high noon kickoff. Like they decided. 60 Minutes, they did 2 profiles on Deion last year. It's not like he said, hey, you better get out here. I demand you do a profile on me. The attention, that's what should be blamed, not the person receiving the attention. Now, do I think, we have silly stuff. Paul Feinbaum said, well, make him USC's head coach. Mike Greenberg, hey, what about Dallas head coach there? All they're doing is trying to, take some of this spotlight that Deion has and get some clicks. That's all that is. It's silly. But Deion's not the one who's saying this. Deion said, no, I'm not interested in going to the NFL. That doesn't stop people from speculating. Or what about when he goes to his next job here? So there's blame. Now, Deion it feels like he's being a bully here. He wants to set the tone of, we're not going to take that negativity. But, it goes along with this. If he's creating great expectations, if he's saying, hey, I think we're one of the top 15 teams in America, okay, then you can hold him accountable with those words. But I don't know. It feels like, is Deion a false prophet? If he's saying they're going to be in the college football playoffs, do we take every coach at his word for what they say? I'm sure there are a lot of coaches go, hey, I don't see why we can't make, we can win our conference. Or I don't see why we can't. It's Deion Sanders. And look, the columnist is trying to make a name for himself. I get it. Now, the university said the columnist is permitted to attend football-related activities as a credentialed member. Other reporters from the Denver Post are welcome to ask questions. Now, does he raise his hand the entire press conference? And then he doesn't call on him? Yes, Todd.
Can Sean give a little note to one of his colleagues? Could ask this for me?
I would. Absolutely. Now, Deion did this before. When he was at Jackson State, there was a reporter from the Clarion Ledger in Mississippi. And I guess he had written a story about a domestic violence charge against one of Deion's recruits. And then he said basically that he was going to be blackballed. He wasn't going to let him ask questions as well. Deion, they go 4-8 first season, declined to specify his goals for 2024 as the Buffaloes return to the Big 12. I want to win. Yeah, so I'm trying to understand both sides of this. Columnist, you want people to read your column. You want clicks. You want eyeballs. Deion wants that on his program. Both are receiving it. Deion, it feels like, is empowering this columnist by all of a sudden, hey, what he's saying, it hurts. There have been members like media writers. They know sometimes that they can go after you and say something. People in our business. It's happened to me where somebody can come after you and say something. Not much you can do. But if you do acknowledge it, they love it. Like, oh, okay. Yes, Marvin.
Is Colorado falling to the Dallas Cowboys category of, man, they are just getting so much attention for such little results?
Okay, but this isn't Deion's fault.
Oh, I'm with you.
Yeah. And the Cowboys, although I think Jerry Jones just wants attention. The whole CeeDee Lamb, the Dak Prescott, Mike McCarthy, they're constantly talked about. More than any other, the Cowboys and then everybody else. I could take everybody else's coverage, and it wouldn't even come close to the Dallas Cowboys. All this is a ratings game. If you're going to go after somebody, you're going to go after the person who's wearing the crown. Well, the Cowboys don't wear the crown, but they have worn the crown. But they are the most popular franchise in sports. Yeah, Paulie.
Going back to Deion Sanders, he actually there's a clause in his contract. Maybe other coaches have this. He has a clause that he has duties to talk to the media that are professional and consistent interaction, mutually agreed upon members of the media and public print, et cetera, et cetera. So he has clauses in his contract that he does not have to talk to all the media if he doesn't choose to, which is why Colorado's involved in this.
Deion says, this is a way of life for me. You guys act like this is the first time I've been shot at. I've been lied on, cheated, talked about, mistreated. That's a gospel song, ain't it? Okay. Or a country song. Yeah, so this is going to continue. The over-under is 5.5 wins for them this year. I don't know if he's projecting this team to win the Big 12. Yes, Eaton.
There was just a story like a week or two ago where a Titans player, there was a radio show doing like a live broadcast from Titans camp.
Yep.
And one of the players saw the host doing the show,
Jeffrey Simmons,
and was like, yeah, dude, I remember you talking all that trash about me, and sort of like was, and the host was like, hey, I mean, you want to sit down, we could talk about this. Hey, you want to sit down, we could talk about this. We could talk about this. And it feels like there is a real business to be made to being the, you want to sit down, we could talk about this guy. Where you throw out all of these things, and then when somebody calls you on it, you're like, whoa, what, me? Me? I'm just doing my job, okay? I'm just doing my job. It's like,
Well, sometimes we're in an ivory tower.
Okay.
We're above everybody, and then we have something to say, and then all of a sudden you actually hear. I had a run-in with Steve Spurrier many, many, many years ago when I was at SportsCenter. And we settled it and actually became friends. But I said something, and then he sent me a letter, and he wanted to talk. And then we did, and then we kind of saw what each was saying, and we moved forward with it. But we're not used to sometimes somebody getting back at us. I could say something now, and it might get to Paul Feinbaum or Mike Greenberg, and then I'd be like, yeah, fine. Come on my show, we can talk about it. But a lot of times when somebody goes, hey, wait, I just wrote down what I thought. You're not used to that confrontation, one-on-one. And, all of a sudden that changes. As, Peter Gammons once told me, you want respect, show up in a locker room after you say something or write something. Just show up. Because then if somebody has something to say, you're going to get their attention. So I'm using that philosophy when I showed up in the Rangers locker room confronting Alex Rodriguez. And he almost beat me up. He almost beat me up. But I stood by what I said about him. And I still stand by what I said about him.
yeah.
Yeah, take that. Hey, Ron. Yeah. All right, let me take a break here.
Checking he's not in the building.
Yeah.
He's not in the building, is he?
he?
Still a big guy.
Oh, my God. I had all of those steroid guys who were on the couch that day. They were watching when A-Rod was chewing me out. They were like, yeah. And I thought, man, I hope it doesn't hurt that bad when he knocks me out. But I'm going to stand toe-to-toe with him.